This is the Angry Birds Bird Minute, sponsored by Angry Birds for their 15th anniversary, where we tell you all about a cool bird that may or may not be angry. Today's bird is the southern ground hornbill. The southern ground hornbill is a big black bird with a red wattly face and a long beak. They lay their eggs in large old trees. Each nesting pair is always assisted by 2 or more other birds. Individuals in a nesting pair are typically unsuccessful unless they have helped rear chicks for at least 6 years before laying themselves. They have a very loud call, which lets them announce their territorial claim to an area and can be heard over a distance of about 1.5 miles. For anyone who uses the metric system, that's approximately 100 blue whales away. But are they angry? On a scale of 1 to angry, we rate the southern ground hornbill as howling mad. This is Wild Green Streams. I'm Rhett, and this is the 10 days of meme-miss in which we spill the beans on all the group's secret lore. Molly wants to know, what is the origin of the charity battle? The charity battle idea is one of the things I'm proudest of personally, in which the mods have done an incredible amount of work to sustain over the years. The whole thing has outgrown any expectation we could reasonably have had for it, and with the amazing participation of the group, it's allowed us all to have way more of a positive impact than any meme page has a right to. The core concept came to me in one moment as a result of lucky happenstance, the combination of a few different silly trends, and necessity. The group was a little over a year old and had just begun to really grow when we learned that a local land conservancy, Ashton Biological Preserve, had fallen on hard times. They were dealing with a gap in one of their revenue streams, and as a result needed to find more donations to be sustainable. A few months before, I designed and bought some stickers for my brother's band, RX Fire. I was really surprised by how cheap they were. It cost $40 to buy something like 500 of a custom design. This was all at about the same time that gang memes were circulating on the wider internet. These would take the format where one pretend group would hate on another, and then take credit for it in the meme. So for example, one of our favorites from outside the meme page was a big picture of normal scissors, with the caption, "Imagine only being able to cut in a boring straight line." There was a smaller picture in the corner of a different kind of paper cutting implement, which itself had the caption, "This message is brought to you by Wavy Scissors Gang." The last thing I need you to know for this story to make sense is that the natural resource community, like all communities in one way or another, is filled with petty rivalries. Bird people versus reptile enthusiasts, foresters versus wildlifers, fish versus land animals, you get the idea. Everyone loves to hate on and one-up whatever group is most similar to them, but not quite exactly the same. So with all that swirling around in our personal lives in the zeitgeist, we decided to make a fundraiser for Ashton within our group of about 1,000 memebers. Everyone would pick a gang related to their favorite group of organisms. Herp Gang for reptile and amphibian enthusiasts, Bug Boys, that's BOI boys, for the entomologists, Bird Gang for birders, etc. Then they would compete to meme the hardest and donate in the name of their chosen team. To join a team, all you had to do is make memes and comments in support of it. Donors would be sent a small sticker with their gang's official design in the mail. Anyone who isn't in a place to donate can still help by making memes and commenting in support of their gang, juicing the Facebook algorithm and making sure that everyone can see the chaos. All the money goes to the same place, and the gang that raises the most money by the end wins. The first charity battle was born. We wound up raising a little over $1,000, which is both a lot for the number of people in the group and a significant donation to the small nonprofit we were supporting. Wild Green Memes is a group with what I think are an unusual number of annual traditions. And of those, the charity battle has continued to be the most important. As the group has grown, so has the charity battle. After a few years, we founded our own 501c3, Wild Green Future, so we could expand to giving multiple grants to different institutions every year. This community is so enthusiastic and creative. Many of the charity battle's core concepts, like gang buy-ins, member challenges for donations, and the specific gangs themselves, were come up with by fiends and adopted officially by the mods. Every year I look forward to finding out what people are going to think of next. It's been a wild ride. One year we had over 100 gangs, and because of COVID-19 restrictions, I wound up having to mail over 30,000 stickers almost entirely on my own. As of 2024, the group has raised over $500,000 through the charity battle, and through grants and partnerships, been able to support everything from a field station in Peru to mountain chicken frog recovery in Dominica, tortoise conservation at Ashton, the establishment of a captive breeding program, and development of captive husbandry guidelines for a declining butterfly species, the frosted elfin, native pollinator gardens across the United States, the mapping of undocumented roads across a major portion of the island of Borneo, public access and advocacy for rivers in Georgia and North Florida. The list goes on and on. We try to focus on projects that benefit biodiversity in a place while affirming the dignity and agency of the people who live there. We're a community-based organization at our core and seek partnerships with groups that have deep ties to the communities within which they operate. The projects we fund in Peru and Dominica in particular are heavily focused on collaboration with farmers and agricultural producers, working to help increase the size and sustainability of their harvests in ways which also benefit the wildlife that lives alongside them. In the US, we have a heavy focus on public access to protected lands and backyard conservation, in addition to pure biodiversity projects like the Frosted Elfin program. Ultimately, the best stewards of a place are the people who live there. That's a core principle, right alongside the moral and practical necessity of biodiversity and ecosystem conservation. Nature and people both have a right to exist. In fact, even the distinction between people and nature is just a construction of our stories. Coexistence is the only moral and practical path forward. Now, wild green memes alone can't save the entire world. Just structuring the sentence in this way seems kind of silly. But because of the work and support of all of you, we've proven that even a silly Facebook meme group can make a difference in the lives of some people, in the survival of some wildlife, in the existence of some biodiversity, and in the integrity of some natural ecosystems. And some, at some point, is a lot. We are so proud to know this group has, in its own weird way, contributed to the wild green future. So, time for plugs. In this episode, we're just going to plug Wild Green Future. Wild Green Future is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to conservation while affirming the rights of the people who live in the places where the conservation is happening. You can learn all about us by listening to the podcast episode you just got through, and also by going to our website at Wild Green Future. That's future singular, no S. A lot of people mix that up. .org. That's all for now. Thanks for listening. Our theme music is by the band RX Fire, who you should totally go listen to. And until next time, I'm Rhett, and happy Year of the Raccoon.
9 days until we reveal the secrets of the Toucan War.